you see the height differential.
Tail the tape, it's at 145. Featherweight is a division. 10 years age difference between this pair. And what a big differential there in experience too. But the height and the reach will go to TRATNER. RACIC coming right in at the limit.
Well, Chris and I were discussing the distance game, the 3-round and 5-round decision game that RACIC is known for, but last time out, RACIC really discombobulated, took his opponent apart. The height differential here is just insane, but then you look at the build of RACIC and it's a wrestler's delight. That modest stature, low center of gravity, shorter legs, longer body. RACIC is the threat here tonight, even though TRATNER has the size and the range in his favor.
I agree. Absolutely. He's a strong favorite, and I think he's the hunter in this fight. And the crazy thing is, he had that unbeatable style, didn't he, back in the day? But I think that that style could have evolved, and I'm hoping he finds a good middling point at 145 from being a 135 champion and testing the waters at 155 unsuccessfully.
So, shots fired. Good look-see. TRATNER turned offensive now, using some unorthodox kicks. Side thrust kick we saw there, then a high kick. And TRATNER got an all-round good boxing game. But RACIC on the hunt here, and he really is ferreting out a gap so that he can get inside and cause problems. And, you know, for a shorter fighter to go downstairs to the body, that shows confidence. Nice to see the UFD gym producing some good fighters. Home, of course, to Urko Yun, to the likes of Roberto Soldic, and I mean UFD working hard, producing champions. What a great establishment that is.
Absolutely, and RACIC is part of that foundation, has been for many, many years. I'm liking the fact that the wrestling and the boxing are working together here, you know. He can go low, he can make you think he's going to shoot, then he obviously can throw his hands and go upstairs. It's an upstairs, downstairs approach. And the footwork for the wrestling and the footwork for the boxing are all going to meld together.
In great condition, RACIC throws the right hand, makes a connection. How he's working his way inside with that range disadvantage. Look at that, left, right, left, TRATNER's hurt. He's on Wobble Street. RACIC could finish this and confound everything I've said about his 3-round or 5-round decision approach to this. TRATNER rocked here. Look at the power punches. He's using him like a heavy bag, RACIC.
He's gone straight up Tyson in there, you know, with the shifting head movement and going to the body with the hooks in the head. Just weaving in, and it's weaving in from outside. I mean, he's at kicking distance. He's outside kicking distance and boxing his way in.
Yeah, how does he slide in? I mean, it's almost like he's on a conveyor belt, isn't he? You know, first stop, TRATNER. First floor, lingerie. I mean, you know, it's like he's just coming up and riding his way in.
And TRATNER isn't doing anything about it. He's got to really get the straight kicks, establish the jab, not move back in a straight line. Like RACIC nearly found headspace 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, RACIC circling the plug hole here now, isn't he? You can see, mind you, a little bit of trouble on the left eye, but look at those punches when he gets in. TRATNER doesn't know what's going on. He's having his ears boxed, well and truly. Every time he comes out of these exchanges, he's like Radio Gaga.
And I don't like the coverage, you know. Sometimes, like, his guard is right by his ears, but with 4-ounce gloves, you know, it's not the same as kickboxing or boxing where you get the additional padding from the gloves. So TRATNER is really getting worked here, Will.
Yeah, and you said the last time RACIC was out, he really worked his opponent over. It looks like a new RACIC. Oh, he tries the sneaky drop for the leg shoot. That's the threat always, you know, after having your ears boxed like that, down he goes to try and take you out. Look, I mean, RACIC has got the experience, he's got the power now, and he's upped his stand-up game to superior level.
It's what he'd been working on, and it took him a few years to do this. Like, this is the crazy thing. He's been trying to pull off fights like this up until the Luis Miguel Alar fight for years. Like, they worked so hard on boxing, and there was talk of fights where it was going to be there, and it wasn't. I think he's finding his form, Will.
Absolutely. The stand-up is excellent. Those combinations, punishing, fast, so dangerous. Props to TRATNER, he survived them. I mean, he's taken some good lickings in there. Oh, there's the shoot, the takedown. Beautiful the way he twists himself around. TRATNER defending here.
Nice defense here from Tratner. RACIC tried to run the pipe on the single, then went to the double. Didn't quite lock his hands. Tratner did a good job. RACIC can't get too confident, right? You've still got to respect the veteran here.
But he's marching his man down, Tratner. Look at that. Tratner's advancing. It's RACIC that's working his way on the outside of the cage. For me, at the end of the round, a great round for RACIC, but it wasn't a dismal round for Tratner.
Absolutely. Again, he's a veteran. You know, he's fought in some big shows. He's never really ever... I've never seen him completely out of place in the ring, except for maybe his last FNC fight. He was taken out pretty badly, but you know, he's one of those guys that certainly knows his way around the cage.
Well, we can see here just how RACIC gets in on the inside and seems to summon up incredible volleys of shots. Some of them unanswered, bang, bang, and they hurt, bang, bang, bang. You know, 3-punch combinations. Tratner nearly wiped off the feet. But he covers up as well on the way out, RACIC. Look at those 3-punch combinations. Really, really boxing the ears of Tratner. You know, on a different day, a different fighter, they'd have kissed canvas from those shots.
And Tratner, apart from the Barton loss, has only lost via decision, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a very durable guy. So, you know, RACIC needs to factor that in.
We go to 2. Eyes wide open. And they're going to need to be. So Tratner needs a strategy here. We've seen what RACIC is bringing to this. He said his stall out, no doubt about it. All the shots from Tratner perfunctory, the high kicks, not so high on that occasion, but unintentional. We've seen what Tratner's going to try and do. It's more of an opportunistic approach. RACIC has a definite strategy. RACIC will be given the full complement to recover, full complement of time, but yeah, surgical precision, elusive movement. When he gets on the inside, he does what he needs to do and out. I mean, that's a proper commando raid RACIC has got in the strategy here.
Yeah, and you can see it in his eyes, the confidence going into the second round. I mean, that's a fighter who's in the zone, and that's such an important part of fighting. Is you only get the chance to compete a few times a year, but you're training all year for these moments, and then something like this happens. Does it throw you off? Can you get your head back into the game? Didn't look too bad. Looked like Tratner just switched up and went a little bit high.
So, just a brief opportunity to tell you some of the nations taking part in FNC, the Fight of Nations Championship. Poland, Croatia, Brazil, Belgium, Serbia, the UK, Argentina, Israel, Tratner here tonight, Albania, Portugal, the Netherlands, France, Slovenia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Georgia, Russia. I mean, 16 nations. This is why it's called the Fight of Nations Championships. It truly is an international European event. In the ring now, Itay Tratner from Israel. From Croatia, fighting out of UFD Gym, Dusseldorf, Anton RACIC. RACIC now going to work, starting to unload those punches. Tratner, durable, he's there.
100%. And I'm liking the fact we're seeing multiple punches into longer kicks, and occasionally longer kicks into multiple punches. That's what Tratner needs to do. Now he's moving laterally. This is now a back and forth, and there wasn't that at all in the first round. But RACIC, of course, can storm through when he sees Tratner loading up and go into this, the takedown, or indeed the big hooks.
Yeah, Tratner got a bit busy there. He's introduced himself to the arena and to RACIC a bit more, a little bit more confidence. Yeah, let's see how long he can keep RACIC out. 3.5 minutes left, odd. And Tratner still looks confident, still looks as if he's got a puncher's chance. RACIC not doing so well actually on the wire here. He's being controlled by Tratner, but this is his office. He'll work it all out, RACIC. And we've not seen RACIC on the ground yet, but that's really where he excels. But he's just doing such a great job in the stand-up. I mean, how do you fight a man that's literally 10 inches taller than you and succeed? Great work.
I'm liking the hand fighting here from RACIC. I want to see more of that, I think. Less wild swinging to wade in. something needs to change. TRATNER changed what he was doing in this round, and I think RACIC needs to read that and implement that. Again, switch up there, and it was the end of the foot that caught it. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, he is the shorter fighter of the two. It could be argued that it was unintentional. I think it was. I just think it's so difficult when you look at the composition, you know, ratio of leg size to body size. It's so hard.
Yeah, and it was the skimming toes, really, the end of the foot. Those are the worst. And TRATNER's switching into those, so he's trying to switch and load up to that kick. Unfortunate. I wouldn't say it's intentional, but certainly he's going to get a quick chat, I'm sure, from the ref to say, look, everything you throw, you have to still be responsible for. You need to do a little bit better here, and I'm sure that's what will be said.
Meanwhile, good opportunity to get some breathing space and recover. He's certainly done that. I mean, he was nearly knocked off his feet twice in the first round. This second round seemingly slightly longer because of the breaks that we've had and the adjustments that have had to have been made. As you can see, the arena packed to the rafters here for this FNC extravaganza. Coming to you from Croatia. And I read the nations taking place.
He's going to have up to 5 minutes, and you know, again, there's pressure from the crowd. The adrenaline's going. You're probably frustrated. This is the second time. Take the time. Don't be rushed. Oh, he's going to take a point. He must have had a word after the first infraction. And you know, we're seeing this from refs now more, Will. We're seeing it after recent kind of fouls in MMA. Eye pokes, for example. People are going to be a little bit more strict.
Yeah, the rules have tightened up. There's no nonsense, no quarter given if the referee has spoken to you, and that's what we've seen here. So it's going to be even harder for TRATNER now to pull this back. He really needs to start getting traction here, but RACIC not giving a millimetre. In fact, he's livened up his game here and started to just get a little bit busier. That said, so has TRATNER.
Yeah, it's kind of like he just realized what he needed to do, which is surprising given how experienced he is. That wasn't in his mind walking out to the cage.
Yeah, and you know, we've often said this, easier said than done. I'm sure there's no lack of effort on their part to try and make this work. But yeah, you know, again, the confusion there, the chaos that RACIC is bringing to this.
That was really nice. I love the knee tap setup where he'll dip his head, try to pick with the left arm, and then go to an overhand right. Very smart. More of that from RACIC. And maybe some kicks. There's no reason why he could be blasting that lead leg of TRATNER. It's just right for the taking.
Yeah, that lead leg is little Miss Muffet sitting on her tuffet, just waiting to be slapped up there. RACIC concentrating on upstairs. That's so inviting, the lead leg of TRATNER, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just kind of waltzing around with his base, you know, and it's a fighter who's quite light on their feet sometimes, who can be primed for that.
There's great footwork from RACIC. It's like James Brown in there. I haven't seen that kind of action for a long time. Look at the connection, though. He knows he's got the power. Starting to take a bit of punishment on that right eye, though, RACIC. But look at him come forward, and he's starting to put real pressure on TRATNER. But TRATNER soaks it up.
Yeah, definitely. RACIC is dipping his head, throwaway punch to the body, then comes upstairs with a double hook. But TRATNER is so comfortable at rolling around in the pocket and kind of easing off the pressure. You know, that's a veteran fighter, one who can take the sting out of a punch that still lands.
RACIC starting to take shots. His lead leg is being peppered here. TRATNER inside there with the elbow, starting to throw shots and lead with that left jab. That's doing very well for him, actually. The jab is working well. RACIC throwing the hooks, but we know what that does. We know what he can do and how he does it. TRATNER now has kind of read it. It's like, yeah, okay, I've gone over this a few times. I'm starting to get this.
More body work from RACIC, especially because TRATNER's guard is quite high. You know, lead to the body, that was working in the last 90 seconds there, and he was finding avenues for the punches. It's not going to be the first one. It's going to be the second and third. It's not going to be the first combination. It might be a subsequent one. So That's the methodology, excuse me, that RACIC needs in his mind.
Well, he's looking a bit battle-weary, RACIC. Certainly not as lemon-fresh as I would like to have seen him, which means that the hands of TRATNER have got through at range. TRATNER, well, he doesn't look half bad, really, given the way he's been shaken in the round. Durable fighter, Chris. You said it at the beginning.
Yeah, massively. And this is where I think it was working, was good straight punches and kicks. That's what wasn't working for RACIC, was a lot of chasing and just going for Hail Marys, for the haymakers. This was TRATNER at his best. Cage work, pressure, good half steps, not too much, not too little. Much better round than the first.
Third and final, going into it, what do we say, one apiece?
It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Maybe is the answer.
Well, on a maybe, it would seem that there's everything to play for going into this third and final round. From Israel, Ite TRATNER. From Croatia, fighting out of Dusseldorf, Anton RACIC. Again, the low kick, and TRATNER says no. We'll look at the replay, but this is going to be uphill for him if it goes the distance.
I should say definitely not tied up, because there was a point deduction from TRATNER in the last round.
Absolutely, and it looks like it's coming again. And RACIC is making stock of this. In fact, he was complaining on the stool in the corner.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And you know, judges are definitely going to be moving towards, especially like I said from the eye pokes, excuse me, I say judges, I mean referees, of immediate point deductions. You know, not the previous practices where there were often multiple warnings before a point was taken. And that's what we saw in the last round. I thought that was, you know, potentially territory for a subsequent warning. Here we go. Same tactic, switch kick on the 45. That was clean. TRATNER was trying to say it wasn't offsides. I'm terribly sorry, but instant replay would suggest different.
Well, the referee will give the full complement of recovery to Anton RACIC. This is turning into the longest bout in FNC history. So many stoppages for recovery from that offside shot. You can look on the referee's face, doesn't he? He looks like a speed cop that's just about to give you a ticket. He's certainly not letting anyone off the hook here.
I mean, can you imagine 3 5-minute rounds of action and 3 5-minute breaks for a foul? That's kind of the territory we're in here. Yeah, TRATNER switching up. Yeah, no doubt about it. His foot made contact there. It's tricky because a lot of times when you kick it like that, you know, you'd want to be a little bit more in so the shin hits like a baseball bat. But, of course, TRATNER's trying to stay just outside.
Yeah, that distance that he's keeping between RACIC gives rise to the drop in the leg or the rise in the leg, depending on where he's aiming for. Needs to be more accurate. But it's difficult because, I say, the composition, body-wise, of Anton RACIC, he's so long in the body and so short in the leg. I mean, you know, what would be a high thigh kick, you know, to somebody that had longer legs, you know, is an offside shot. Especially when he switches up, when TRATNER switches up and actually leans backwards. He's kind of leaning off axis back to protect any potential counter. So it just makes it a little bit funky. Yeah, well, as you say, the referee will be unforgiving on that. And you're in control, even if you claim that it's not. You know, RACIC is making stock of this. A lot of time to recover. Not in a rush to go again. So, let's see what referee and the leverage that he puts on this. Still giving him full time to recover. RACIC says he's not ready. Take your time. 100% take your time. And at worst, if TRATNER won the last round, it was 19-18 for RACIC. And here we go. A mirror image of the same infraction we saw in the second. So, with the odds stacked against him, it would seem like it wouldn't be worth going out to continue for TRATNER unless he can finish. I think he registers that, and that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and close Anton RACIC down and end this, take the judges out of the equation. I think he's got the mettle to do it. RACIC under pressure as TRATNER comes forward now, but he rolls into that, and look at that. This is where RACIC will tie him up and could finish this early.
Lovely drop step there from RACIC, backing up, losing literally the edge of space, and then immediately level changing to get the takedown. I love that.
I've got to give it to TRATNER. He got out of that extremely well. The escapology was top, given that RACIC is such a good wrestler. So it comes to the upright again, and RACIC looks tired and looks like he doesn't fancy it, but there's the left hand. It's all over. It's a knockdown! Anton RACIC with the left hand! RACIC went Rambo! My goodness me! RACIC had had enough, and the left hand said it all. RACIC still recovering from the offside shot. What a complete finish that was absolute stardust from RACIC.
Are you kidding me, Will? The point deductions, the fouls, the frustration. Anton RACIC with a third career knockout, an absolutely stunning fashion. That was a beautiful check hook with the left, and this crowd was absolutely bananas.
RACIC went Rambo tonight. Oh, that was sublime. And just look at him, he knows it. He has pulled the proverbial rabbit out of the hat. That's what he wanted, that's what he needed. You know what? I spoke to him a while ago, and it was his championship bout against V-Quatch at KSW, and he said to me, Will, I'm back. And he lost that bout. Tonight, Anton RACIC, you're back.
Textbook, perfect counter. TRATNER was open, RACIC shelled up, let him walk in, and corked up the home run there. Left hook, followed by a right hammer fist, and TRATNER is down for the count.
Oh, the left hand was like a Mickey Tyson. Look at that, bang, in it went. Little James Cagney. That's all you need, you only need one. You can buggy choke, you can low kick, you can scissor jump, you can suplex. Little cheeky James Cagney right on the sweet spot, and that takes you home, Daddy.
That has to feel good, especially after all that frustration. And props to TRATNER. He made it a fight. He adapted. The farmer, he showed up. But at the end of the day, Anton RACIC named killer for a reason.
Absolutely, and props to TRATNER, I have to say, because I tell you what, sometimes you look and you think 3 points deduction, you know, I mean, oh, look at Roberto Soldic in there. We can see his hand was involved.
Another familiar left hand.
Yeah, there you go. And he's probably saying to Anton RACIC, what took you so long? TRATNER, that's what took him so long. What a great performance there.
Absolutely. Ivan Djokovic, of course, head coach at UFD. Over the moon, I'm sure.
Yeah. And there you go. The original home of champions, home to that champion. And RACIC back in the game, back in the game.
And that was climatic for a fight that at times was anticlimactic. Amen?
Amen. You know, they're both known as guys that take it the distance. But especially RACIC. I mean, every fight I commentated of his went the 5 rounds. It was beautiful. It was technical. But he needed finishes. Let's have the announcement now. Props to TRATNER.
Well,
no loss there.
At 1 minute and 13 seconds completed of round number 3. Your winner by